Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going. Yeah. Roll up this, you pullin', now you know. All right, what's good? We're here. We're back. Episode number 213. We are here. I am here. Pavy's here. What's up, Pavy? How you doing today, man?
I'm hot, but I'm good.
It's one thing I can say, player. We used to live in the same apartment building. Guess how many times I think to myself, damn, I really miss that place.
Probably none.
Never.
I feel you.
Like never. Like ever. Like only time like, man, I miss that place is I used to be like, man, I used to get drunk and have a lot of fun there. But other than that, that's about it. Like it's never like, man, I need to go back to that place. I'm good. I'm chilling. But anyways, welcome to Hoops and Brews as always. Hoops and Brews, we drink beer, we talk basketball. As always, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Real TPJ. That's REEL TPJ. It's a film joke. If you don't get it, you damn dummy. And it's always, do not drink, do not drive. It's wrong. It's illegal. You go to jail. The show co-stars rapper extraordinaire Pavy. Go ahead, get your plug in.
As always, man, follow me on Twitter at Pavy World, Pavy World, all one word. Right now, I just felt like rapping 2 out right now. Make sure you go check that out. Anywhere.
Street classic. The streets is saying that you might have a heater on your hands. That's what the streets is saying. The streets is saying you might have a heater. The streets is saying C minor might be a heater, G. The streets is saying katana might be a heater, G. The streets is saying 64 times might be a heater, G.
Thank you. Everybody who heard it liked
it.
The
streets is saying subtle flex might be a subtle flex, G.
And people, have different favorite songs, which is always cool. When people have different favorite songs.
Off in the cup with a day one by my side. Slide on a PGT, catch my vibe. Off in the cup with a day one by my side. Slide on a PGT, catch my vibe.
I said the only part I didn't like about this song was that you didn't let the beat breathe for 16 more bars because that beat is fucking fire, by the way. But that song is fire as hell. But that's how you know you made a fire song. Somebody like, man, it wasn't long enough. Like, yeah. I'm angry at you for you not pleasuring my ears for more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's what motherfuckers be saying when they're like, yo, your song ain't long enough, B. Make that shit long enough. 90 seconds. Like low key, some of the greatest songs are like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be long. Like it really don't have to. Like you don't have to say that much, bro.
The Motown records was like 2 minutes and 23 seconds.
Short as hell. It's when rappers came in like, I need to rap 3 verses. That song became long.
Yeah, that's when you get the Eminem sing for the moments. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. All words.
Mike Harris's worst kids at the time who died hearing who likes hearing. Like whatever they say has no bearing.
That was a record in what was it, 01, 02?
Yeah, exactly. No, I love it. I was blasting that shit the other day. But let's talk about NBA playoffs day 1 reactions. What are your reactions from what you saw yesterday? It is technically tomorrow on the East Coast. So what were your reactions from what you saw yesterday? We got to see Luka. We got to see we got to see an actual great game in the Celtics versus the 76ers. We got to see what was a terrible game to start, but actually turned out to be a competitive game with the Nets versus the Raptors. And then the first matchup was, I think, an NBA classic, right? Should we talk about that first? Let's go ahead. Let's talk about the Jazz. And Donovan Mitchell.
I didn't see the whole first game because it came when at 10.
I saw it. I'm working with it on in the background.
My morning was like different this morning, so I didn't see the whole first. So I didn't see the whole.
Is this a subtle flex?
It was different. So I didn't see the whole.
No. Is this a subtle flex?
It might be.
Yeah.
It might
be. Hey, look, every time you do something like that, we'll play subtle flex. I'm gonna just play the first 10 seconds of it. Yeah. So when you hear that beat, you're like, oh shit, Pavy flexing right now.
But no, so I like. So I got back home and I actually really saw. When I took a nap, woke up. I saw the fourth quarter. Donovan was the fourth quarter. Then I actually had to start doing Spark report during like overtime, so I didn't really get to see the end of the game. I just saw like the fourth quarter, and I was like trying to watch it as I was doing Spark report, but I really couldn't. But it looked like Donovan was going off. It looked like Jamal Murray. The thing about Jamal Murray is that I've been watching Jamal Murray since he was, I think, 18 years old in the FIBA games. This is like nothing new for Jamal Murray at all. Like this is what Jamal Murray does. Jamal Murray is a guy who consistently comes up big in clutch moments. Glasses, what's up, bro?
Glasses, what's up? Uh-oh.
Not
we live.
We live.
Not one game.
We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Jazz and Nuggets. What were your thoughts on Jazz Nuggets?
It was a good game. I think everybody was too pumped up about that 57 with that elbow. If he played a little defense, he might have won.
With that elbow.
At 57 with that macaroni elbow noodle, that wasn't good.
I didn't even really notice he had 51. Like I noticed, but like I didn't like.
Yeah, I didn't either. I
didn't notice he had 51.
57. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I didn't really notice he had 51 like that.
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
We're in that time where everybody care about the tally of stats and points. All right, but that elbow ain't it, dog. He didn't play no defense.
I mean, hey, he got to be the only one out there to score. What do you want from him?
I want you to play defense too. Is that too much to ask him?
Yeah, that's why they're not gonna win. You expect him to, you expect him to go out there and drop 57 and play all-world defense. It's not happening.
Didn't Michael Jordan do it? Kobe Bryant
and they didn't win. They scored 63 and they lost.
I'm saying he played defense and scored 50 and 8.
Win before, after they got Scotty.
I'm saying
Donovan Mitchell got no Scotty. He got Rudy. That man
Rudy is the best defensive center in the NBA.
Also, yeah,
what do you need to play?
Wait, real quick. What is going on with the internet that the internet had just for some reason turned on Rudy Gobert? Somebody told me he the worst defensive player in the last 20 years. Like defensive player of the year award win in the last 20 years, bro. What do you mean, G? What do you mean? How are you a bad 2-time defensive player of the year?
Gee, they let Kobe change the game for my man.
Like what do people do? Rudy Gobert is one of the best. Is arguably probably the best rim protector.
I would name this episode "Kobe changed the game for Rudy" if I could.
He's not.
Rudy is not bad. What's wrong
Rudy is great at what he does. He's a great rim protector, a great screen. He's great. He's great at what he does. Like, yeah, sometimes when you have a center like Jokic who can pull him out the paint, I mean, like, sure, some of the things he does best kind of like get overshadowed because you playing against Jokic who can pull him out the paint, but he's great for what he does. I don't understand why people just had this vendetta against Rudy all of a sudden.
Because Rudy stopped basketball. That's the only reason. That's literally the only reason anybody can say they have anything bad to say about Rudy Gobert. Is because they deem him to be responsible. It's just like one of them, like, yeah, it's like he's not responsible for it. He's not. I mean, optically, I'm not saying he is, but optically, I can understand how one would say that. But I personally wouldn't say that. But optically, I can understand why fans would be mad at him. But that don't mean that this man to turn into Todd McCullough just because the league had to stop so other people would get sick.
Yeah, I mean, say he look out of place, out of plane. He is a center. How many centers really going on the wing and like guarding people? It's like 4 of them that's really going on the wing and guarding people, or like on the perimeter and guarding people. He's great at what he does.
Man, I've been telling y'all this since I first did y'all first podcast. The disrespect towards defense by media, fans is insane. Like, you could look at Rudy as a talented, probably the best center in the NBA, probably close top 3, top 4. And because he's not scoring 50 points or he doesn't have his offensive repertoire, he's horrible. But then you can look at somebody like Luka, you feel me, who has no defense, and he scores a point, and you're like, oh, he's a winner.
Hate on my son. Don't hate on my son. That's what we're not going to do right now. We're not going to hate on my son. This is my son right here.
42 with the elbow.
Look, you got your
11 turnovers too. 11 turnovers too.
I won't lie.
11 turnovers is wild.
When Gundy said 11 turnovers, I literally was like, I checked my NBA app like, no, it gotta be
11 turnovers is wild. Bro. Now look. I don't think that they're gonna get swept. I think they'll win a game. I think they'll win. I think
you need to be stopped.
I think that they'll win one game. I think that they'll get one game.
They're gonna get two. They're gonna get two.
They're not getting two, bro.
Honestly, the Mavericks would have won that game had the referee not took Porzingis out the game.
First of all, that was KP's fault. Nobody told KP to go be 94 Charles Oakley. You already had a technical foul. No,
that's what he's supposed to do.
No, you not. Dorian, no.
You be calling him soft.
No, I wouldn't. Get Dorian Finney-Smith to do that. You had a technical foul already. Sit your ass back down.
No, I'm doing that. Even Doc Rivers said between quarters that he shouldn't have got ejected.
Okay, that's what he could say.
Exactly. So he shouldn't have got ejected.
They not gonna get swept. I think they'll win a game. I think they'll win literally one game. I think they'll win.
They won't win one game.
Why do you think they won't win one game?
The Mavs play into the Clippers' strength. They won't win one game. They're gonna wear Luka down 4 games. It's not even a shot. It looked better than it probably is. Luka look good. He's fresh. Dog, Kawhi and Paul is going to wear him down. They're going to wear him down. There's no action. He's a kid against grown-ass men, grown-ass black men in America. That just is not going to work out for you at this point. And he's going to be a fantastic player in the future. It is not going to work out for him at this point right now. Not at 21.
I will say this: when they came out, it was one possession when it's he got switched on a Pat Bear Pete.
TP, is it his phone? Is it my phone?
It's probably. I think it's his phone.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you, Pat.
Can you hear me?
I can hear me.
I can hear you too.
I can hear me. Pavy, you might need to disconnect. You got the T-Pain again. He got that when I pull up to the club, they be like, "Damn, 28 connection going on."
Nah, not one game, TP. But as far as the Denver game, it's Denver and Utah is a pretty decent game, but Utah got too much for Denver. Hopefully Denver got too much for the Jazz. I'm sorry. Okay. Denver got too much for the Jazz. Losing Bogdanovic kind of killed them. They can't guard nobody at the perimeter at this point. Joe Ingles, dog, is
he got that by himself.
That's soup, dog. That's soup, boy. You see, boy, they was hitting boys with crossovers today. It was just prolific.
I'm gonna put this man Joe Ingles in a pot of soup, G. That's gonna be the cover. Joe Ingles is soup.
It's not right, bro. He's a soup, bro. It's
too
easy.
I'm crying.
Yeah, it's just not the best matchup for the Jazz. I'm with you. And then I did
if Bogdanovic was there, it'd have been a little different.
Bogdanovic isn't there. Ed Davis also wasn't there. I think that gives another now. Now you depending on Bradley, who is, I think this is really his first season actually getting actual playing time. Also Mike Conley. I don't know how much. I don't know for how long he has to quarantine when he gets back. How long does he have to quarantine? Is it 4 days a week?
It's
7 days. I thought it was 7 days. Yeah, Denver is just too much, man. If Denver could keep that team together, they got some wings of the future for real. Bo, Porter Jr. They got a really good team, balanced. I had a thought today. I want to share, and I don't want to steal the platform. When is the last time somebody won a championship that didn't have a former MVP or former Defensive Player of the Year or current on the team? How long was that? I was thinking about the Raptors today, and I'm like, do the Raptors have a real shot? Because when is
they
the
got
last time?
They got Marc Gasol.
Yeah, Marc Gasol.
Sure.
And he's healthy. He actually said that he needed the rest off because he had he played in the finals and then he went and played in the Olympics with Spain, I believe it was. Spain, right?
Yeah, Spain.
Yeah.
And he got 4 months off. So that's a good point. So I was just thinking about it, you just look at the setup, but the Nuggets, man, they got they deep. They special, some special talent there. Jazz, man, they gonna struggle with the identity. You got a backcourt, that don't play no defense, and you got a front court that's probably defensively prolific. You feel me? It's just and what ended up killing them was the fact that they couldn't stop the guard play. Joker had a good game, but what stopped them is the guard play.
Yeah, because for everything that Mitchell did,
with Gary Harris. Yeah, with no Gary Harris.
With no Gary Harris or on Will Barton. He's also hurt too.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. also, it looked like it was his first playoff game, so I expect him to look better.
He just can't defend right now, which is the reason why he gets snatched off the court. He gets isolated one-on-one, people make a fool of him. on the like
That's
perimeter.
crazy.
He just can't defend right now.
Somebody that athletic could be that bad defensively. Hopefully, it's still his injury. He ain't got his legs all the way yet.
Guessing.
Yeah, he's a special athlete. He could be really special.
Yeah, I think he can. I really think he can. So let's go ahead. Let's actually talk about the Clippers. You really think they're gonna sweep the Mavericks?
It won't be one game. The Mavs playing to their strength. How do you win the game if you play into the Clippers' strength? They got the best wing defender of all time, right? And then you have the second best wing defender in the NBA today. And your best player is Luka Doncic. Like they're gonna wear you down. There's no choice. There's nothing you could do. Like you had your best game today. He won't have a better game than today.
I disagree with that. He had 11 turnovers. I actually think this is a terrible game for him. If I'm him, I think I see way better.
It's gonna get worse.
Way better.
It's gonna get worse.
He's not getting played to again, bro. And also, Pat has to stop fouling so much because you see how valuable Pat is. Like if
he out of shape, I don't want to do him like that. He out of shape. He need to get in shape.
Fair. But again, like a lot of it was early on for Luka, which helped him get in the rhythm. Was they kept sending him to the free throw line. If they could defend without foul, that takes away. I think he had 12 free throw attempts today or something like that. Yeah. I think he only missed one. If they could just like take away some of his free throw attempts and keep it around like 5 or 6.
Man, they are going to clamp that guy. That guy's in trouble, man. Like it's just you're not gonna win a game. You can't play into the team's strength and win a game. Like they play into their strength.
I think that they'll win a game because their offense is so prolific that maybe they just get extremely hot one day. And then the Clippers do have these times when they have lows offense. I think you even like saw it today. First quarter, I think they had some lows. Even like closing out the game, I thought they took some extremely ignorant shots. Had some lows like when Pat Bear shot the pull up three. What are you doing, bro? Like it's like we don't need that right now.
It don't matter when you could get stops. You feel me? The best player on the other team, you can stop him at your leisure to a degree. Like they can challenge him beyond challenge him. You know, it don't even matter. Like, what do you do if you? I mean, like I said, people said he had 11 turnovers. It's like you're playing against the best defenders at your position, and one of them probably is the best defender of all time at your position in the prime of his career. Like, what do you do? And you young, you 20 years old. This dude is in the prime of his career, the absolute prime of his career. It's ain't gonna work out for him. You can't win a game like that. I don't care. Like I watched Dallas do the same thing and get put out in the first round against less of a team. Dallas did this before. They had a fantastic offense. You know what I mean? They got put out. That offense is cool, but that ain't gonna work, man. Like it's just not gonna win. They're not gonna win one game.
I think they'll get one, literally only one game. I think they'll somehow get one game. Also, I think it really more so depends on KP. I think if KP can play the ball that he was continuing to play in the bubble, then I think I think he was averaging 30 in the bubble. If he can have a game like that, especially, catching like Trez a little bit, like Trez obviously is nowhere near what Trez would usually be. So that means you got to depend on Zubac some more. Maybe, Zubac has a game that is less than I think he was great tonight, especially on the boards battling with Porzingis. And then when KP went out, it was like they really had no answer for Zoo down low because they don't really want to play Boban, the tall guy, like that because it slows down their offense. But I think if KP can get hot one game and go out there and get you 30, something like that, then I think that they have a chance to win one game. One game.
I mean, KP just not impactful enough.
I agree with that.
I've seen him drop 50 or 60 pieces and lose. Like you still need impact. You feel me? And he don't take over games. That's not to say he can't have fantastic statistical games. But taking over a game is a unique trait, you know what I mean? So when it comes down to it, they're gonna constantly get better and better on Luka every game. Doctors looking at it, they're gonna get better. You got the two best tools, only the Celtics, the Raptors, and the Clippers have those kind of tools. And Kawhi is literally the best of all time at it. He's gonna get smarter every game. And they're gonna slowly beat on that young boy. They're gonna beat on it. They're gonna work on it, dog. They're gonna give it to him.
I mean, like you could even tell today he was physically tired. Like he was tired.
Yeah.
I've never seen Luka that, at least it's in my eyes, that tired. Even after the game, he was tired. I mean, he got hurt within the first 5 minutes of the game.
He's in trouble. That man is in trouble. You feel me? He can play. He's gonna be a fantastic player in the future, but Come on, man. You can't play into the Clippers' strength. This is like they have all-time great strength right here. Like you probably ain't seen this many better wing defenders. Probably the closest thing is Jordan and Pippen. Like a wing player ain't finna beat Michael. Come on, man. A wing team ain't finna beat Michael Jordan. You just not. And you be lucky if you win one game. And they're not gonna win one game. They too fresh, too young. I think KP will have good games, but I think Luka game is gonna get worse and worse. And he's gonna have to put himself in a position where you almost either stop trying to a degree. They had a super hot 3-point shooting streak for 3 quarters. Super hot, killing, and lost. You know what I mean? Eventually, you're going to just you know what I mean? It's not going to work out for you. Not against that team. You're not going to win one game. It's not even a thought. Like, I don't even think about it no other way. You're not going to win one game.
Again, I think they'll get one. I just think that the Clippers offense has some lows. They do have people who are still working back. They aren't still in shape. Like Trez, I was like Trez. They're like, yo, he missing layups that like in the regular season he's making that every time. So he's out of rhythm. Also, even Doc said post game, we don't even have rotations yet. He literally said we don't have rotation. So I think that these things stacked up against him, the Mavericks can still a game. But I think like making it a series, I actually think their best shot was probably honestly today. I think their best shot to win it was probably like for Luka to have 11 turnovers and for you to lose by what, like I don't know what it was. That's like, I mean, I would assume the Clippers would play better. I mean, I would assume the Mavericks would play better, but I would still assume the Clippers would play better. And if they play better, it's probably a 10, 15-point victory. But I just think that because of rhythm aspect of the Clippers, I think that they can get a game away from them. I think they can get a game, one game. You are not rocking with the fact.
We gonna see. He's not getting swept. They're not gonna get swept. They're not gonna get swept. Watch. They're not gonna get swept.
They're gonna get swept.
They're not gonna get swept. They're not gonna get swept. They're not gonna get swept. They started the game. The Clippers started the game on a 10-0 run, and then the Mavericks came storming all the way back. Once KP went out the game, they rhythm was completely gone. And then it was all on
when KP. They was losing the game when KP was out.
It was by like 2 points.
It's not like they can't get enough stops. They can't get enough stops, right?
But they'll be able to make enough threes.
No, you're not.
Yes, they will be able to.
No, you're not.
They're gonna at least win one game. They're gonna win one game. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're gonna win one game.
Not one.
They're gonna win one game.
I understand you're a Luka fan. Not one.
No, it's not about me being a Luka fan. They're gonna win one game. I've watched the Clippers. I've covered them all year long. They are not a team that's gonna sweep anybody. They're not gonna sweep anybody.
Listen,
they're not gonna sweep anybody.
Just listen. This is
get ready to come on here and apologize.
Listen, young guy, I don't really be wrong too often because I don't really say much. I told you last year, Lillard wasn't gonna make the playoffs. You thought I was crazy. I told you I Father Time was. I be giving you these gems, being alive for this long.
I told everyone, come on, man. And once LeBron got hurt, I said the same thing. Stop that.
No, I said it before that because you're not betting on how history goes, right? The reality is, when it comes down to it, their strength is the Clippers' strength. You can't play into the Clippers' strength and think you're gonna win one game. How do you? You got to remember this, right? In the postseason, it's half court. The game slows down. Like the game will slow down in the whole second half. It's not transition. Dallas depends on a lot of transition. Half court.
Luka was killing them in the half court today. The problem was it was just it. What do you mean killing them in a strong word? He had 42 points. He had 42 and 11. What do you mean?
I swear to God, I didn't know he had 42.
Because nobody else was out there. If Kristaps Porzingis is out there, somebody else is out there. Nobody else is out there.
The thing about
out there, nobody else is out there. They don't have enough stars around them.
The thing about KP and the reason why I didn't think they have a chance to win the series is even though KP and also I feel Jackson said that he's not a number one guy because even though KP is 7'2", he doesn't play like he's 7'2". Like I think the first play of the game he posted up PG and missed. I'm like, well, if you're just gonna post up PG and shoot a fadeaway and miss, well, I mean, okay, like
he's like Anthony Davis light.
Literally, yeah, literally.
Like he's Anthony Davis light, where
literally.
He's offensively not quite, but he's not bad. Defensively, it's night and day. And the problem is, that's not going to beat the Clippers. Like you can't have like a junior version of the Lakers and beat the Mavs. The Mavs are a junior version of the Lakers. A junior version
of the Lakers.
Well, think about it, right? You don't got AP quite, but you got KP. You don't got Bron quite, but you got a young Luka. You're not going to win a game. They're gonna focus in on you. The game as the series go on, it's gonna slow down, and you're gonna feel the defensive presence of Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and that team. It's just how it's gonna go. It's not win a game. It's not even like a big prediction. I don't know how y'all think you're gonna win one game. You can't play into the strength of any team and think you're gonna win a game.
Again, like I said, I just get in one game because I think that they can get so high from 3 one day. And also, like I said, I think the Clippers are still struggling with rotation. They're still struggling with people getting back in health and also struggling with rhythm. So I think that maybe they can get a game, but a game is all I'm giving them. A game is literally all I'm giving them. And also, I know earlier in the game, I tweeted, yo, I wish the Clippers hadn't given up Mo Harkless, but Marcus Morris did a great job on Luka.
And that's another thing. Like Marcus Morris, like while he can't guard like AD, Marcus Morris can guard KP. That's the problem. He can challenge him.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a problem. Like you got 3 defenders that literally can guard, that can challenge KP and Luka. Like none of those 3 guys can really challenge. You need, with the Lakers, you need Trez, but Dallas, they can guard those guys. They could challenge them every shot. And when it's said and done, it ain't gonna work out. It's gonna be sad. I'm gonna feel bad for Terry for Tom. Like I know that's his guy. I know that's Tom guy, dog, but it's over.
Sometimes you ain't gotta feel bad for me. I said that they were gonna win the series. I don't think they're gonna win the series. I don't think that they have enough to win the series.
No, I mean the broom.
Oh, they're not gonna get swept.
If they got swept, if they got swept, would you feel sad?
Not really.
You wouldn't.
Not really, because I think the Clippers are going to win a championship. So if the Clippers sweep them, then they should be doing what they should be doing.
No chance. That's not going to happen.
They're going to win a game. I've watched the Clippers all year long. They go tweak mode all the time. Like literally, Doc Rivers was basically saying but they went tweak mode all game long. That's going to be a very long practice and film session tomorrow. A very lengthy film session tomorrow. And Doc Rivers has said multiple times this year, he has said, hey, we have good individual defenders, but we are not a good team defensively. So I think KP getting ejected from the game literally swung the whole momentum. I thought Dallas was, I thought the Mavericks had a chance. Once KP was out, I thought he didn't have a chance.
They had a chance with him gone.
They didn't. No, they didn't because
it was like a 5-point game.
All they had left was Luka. He was going to run out of energy eventually, and which he did.
He's going to run out of energy every game.
Nah, he's not. No, he's not.
Yes.
He's not, because the Clippers don't have anybody to guard. Number one, the Clippers don't have anybody to guard Luka, and they don't have nobody to guard KP.
Well, ain't gonna play to guard Luka. They got like 5 people.
No, they don't. No, they don't. He had 42. He had 42.
And
what? It was a 5-point game, and he had 42.
He literally almost set an NBA playoff record for turnovers.
I don't care. They lost the game by 2 possessions. No, I don't care. I don't care. And his running mate got ejected from the game on some bullshit because Marcus Morris is doing what he's supposed to do, which is starting shit.
The thing about KP is this though, which is also why Phil Jackson trade. Well, why Phil said he's not a number 1. KP
that ain't got
really
to do with him to be a
listen.
Number 1.
No, listen.
I would have went over there and tried to check his
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying that for KP, you still have to set KP up for the most part. Yeah. KP don't really create his own offense. Like,
it's like AD. It's like AD. The impact of some of the stats don't represent the game. Like Luka is who has to win the game for the man. I'm not disagreeing with you. KP could give him, he could put up the points you need to stay in the game and be ahead, but he cannot take over the game. That just ain't that type of position. It ain't what he does. So, I mean, they won't win one game, and it's not like they can stop Luka. They just literally just put bodies on him over and over till he get tired, and then now your arms is dead. At the end of the game, he blowing every shot. He can't make nothing. They in his face.
He's tired because he's tired, and there's no one else out there. No, if KP's out there, there's somebody out there. What do you mean?
KP can't create his own offense, though, bro.
Huh?
KP
don't have to create his own offense, but it's somebody out there to at least grab a rebound and be able to make a play. He can make a play. You can just give him the ball on a low block, and he'll turn around and he can shoot the ball.
No, you can't.
What do you mean?
Really.
Boban was out there, G. Boban had an and one. That should tell you all you need to know about that.
I'm gonna
KP got ejected and Boban had an and one.
I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000 with you, G.
Right,
Boban and KP post game is about what and what. Keep it all the way G with you, G. Boban and KP post game is literally about what and what, G. I'm gonna keep it all the way G with you. Boban and KP post game is about what and what.
All right, G.
Not one game.
And actually, let me look at this play by play because somebody said that they was up before he got ejected. I need to look at that play by play.
Oh,
need to fact check this, but still,
they won't win.
They're not getting swept. They're not getting swept. But let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about the game.
Celtics, Sixers. Glass. What do you think about the Celtics, Sixers?
Sixers have no chance.
They ain't got no chance
at all.
No, Embiid, he's bad self.
Who's there?
I mean, I feel you. Which so what you got? Celtics in what? 5, 6?
I don't know. Celtics. I don't think it's going to be a competitive series. I mean, that's not to say that they can't win some games, but I don't think it's going to be a competitive. What's funny is I've always thought the way they play the game, Ben Simmons and Embiid should complement each other, but they don't. So you're still not getting a horrible Sixers team. So, I mean, they in theory should win some games because now you have more of a simple identity of what's going on. You know what I mean? You got a half-court team. When you got Ben Simmons on the floor, the problem is you got him in the half court. He almost is rendered like null and void. He's a transition player. They really need to split up those guys because if they're not going to, you have to determine whose team, how you're going to play the game. And if you're going to play Ben Simmons, then you need to change down there your whole starting lineup. If you're going to play through Embiid, then you need to change your point guard because you need a point guard that can shoot. So, I mean, the Sixers ain't horrible right now. I mean, I think they still got some talent there, and they should make it a challenge. But Boston is young, great, coach well. They're a pretty good team. I haven't seen how the guard looks since he's been back. Everybody said he was hurt, so
he looks better today. Today he looked better. He was moving well. I mean, he was moving. I honestly forgot that he had an injury. I mean, I think at this point Tatum has asserted himself as the guy, and damn near Jaylen Brown has asserted himself as the second option sometimes. Gordon Hayward did mess up his ankle today. I think he sprained his ankle.
So he's asserted himself as being a number 2 option. I think Jaylen Brown is very, very good this year. My biggest question about him has always been, can his defensive impact be as equal to his offensive impact? And can it be consistent on both ends? Because sometimes when he's good offensively, he's not good defensively. And sometimes when he's good defensively, he's not really good offensively. So I think he's finally putting it together. And also they're giving him touches in the fourth quarter. Before those touches would have went to Kyrie. Before those touches would have went to Hayward. Before those touches would have went to Kemba. I don't even know what's wrong with Kemba. What's wrong with Kemba?
Knee problem. I don't know. It's just something.
So now those touches go to Jaylen Brown, and he's taking advantage of them. He's looking. I
don't really care about the
dude. He's looking real good. He's looking real good. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, this league is gonna always come to can you get the stops, and it's gonna really. Jaylen Brown is a better defender than Tatum. It's gonna come down to can they get the stops at the highest levels. Yeah, I think they're a dark horse against the Raptors for sure. I don't think people really give them real credit.
I don't think they are. I think Nick Nurse is too much of a basketball mastermind, and I think he's gonna throw some looks at those kids that they ain't gonna have ever seen before. And I think Brad Stevens, he might be good at making adjustments, but I really think that Nick Nurse is a wizard. I think he's a wizard.
I think he's all right, but I think when it comes down to it, the talent is going to be night and day.
Nah. I can see. I mean, look at what Siakam did this year. I think Siakam can outplay Tatum or Jaylen Brown in every single game. Every single game, yes, he can.
Every game, no.
Yes, he can.
Every game,
Who can guard him? Who can guard him? Who can guard him at the 4?
Since when did he become this unguardable player?
Who is guarding him? I'm asking you.
Who's been guarding him his whole career?
No, what do you mean? He won a championship last year. Kawhi
Leonard won a championship last year.
No, Pascal Siakam won a championship last year.
Kawhi won a championship last year.
No. The Raptors as a team won a championship last year.
Stop this.
The Raptors as a team.
You just can't help yourself.
The Raptors as a team. No, the Raptors as a team won the championship last year.
You cannot help yourself.
No, Raptors as a team. But no, I think Tatum. I think Tatum, Brown, Grant, Tice on some possessions. Robert, I think all those guys can offer some resistance to us.
Before we move forward, slow down. What are you saying? I dare you to say it.
What?
The Raptors won as a team.
Yeah, I thought Kyle Lowry should have been. I told you.
So the Raptors can win as a team this year.
I think they can. Yes.
Yeah, they can. Yeah. I really think they can.
Yeah.
I low key think they can.
Yeah. I think they can.
They actually kind of remind me of the Pistons, but instead of if the Pistons front court players were the ones that were their veteran presence, or those guys that were those timely shot makers like a Ben Wallace or a McDyess when they won the ring. Those guys are Fred VanVleet and the Norman Powells. I don't think that their front court
Who was your defensive player of the year for 4 years straight? That literally is your defensive anchor.
Yeah, but Mark, you act like Marc Gasol don't have a defensive player of the year award.
It was like 7.
You act like Serge Ibaka ain't a perennial top defensive player of the year candidate back in his prime. And like he's not an all NBA defender.
That was a long time ago.
It ain't that long ago. You think he forgot how to play defense?
I think as you get older, as you lose your physical abilities, defense goes.
Nobody on Boston can guard Siakam. Who go guard Siakam? Tice?
Stop saying Siakam like he's some kind of offensive wizard.
What are you talking about? Have you not seen this man this year?
Sure, I watched him. I watched him get stopped a lot of times.
Yeah, he's not.
And look at all the other options they got on offense. They got like 4 dudes that can get hot.
Options of offense? What options do they have? They have
Kyle Lowry can average. Kyle Lowry has averaged 20 points a game before, 20 and 10 actually.
Kyle Lowry is a fantastic offensive option.
When did Kyle Lowry become bad on offense?
He was always okay. He was always above that.
20, you averaging 20 and 10 is not okay?
Bro,
when is 20 and 10 okay? When is 20 and 10 okay?
20 and 10 okay became okay when LeBron left the East. That's when it became okay. Let's stop it. Let's don't do this.
He was averaging 20 and 10 before LeBron left the East. That's what I'm talking about. What you talking about? He was averaging 20 and 10 before. What you mean?
So now that 20 and 10 is championship pedigree.
It's not about that. You asked me who can score. You asked me who got offense. That's who got offense. You see Fred VanVleet? You see Norman Powell this year? They've been going insane.
I'm asking you a question. Did he score with the Cavs? Did he score against the Cavs?
Do you see LeBron walking through the door in the Eastern Conference? No.
Oh, so that's the confusion.
Giannis is there. Giannis is there. And Giannis not going to be defending Kyle Lowry.
So that's the difference. See, that's the problem. You keep making this the same team as it was last year, and it's not. It's a great defensive team, and they have great defensive.
It's not the same team, but they're still equally as good of a team as they were last year.
They're not even close.
They are. They are. They really are. They really are. They really are. I think if they were at a level 10 last year, they're at a level 8.75, which literally last year there was no team. Actually, now in retrospect, there was no team in the West that would have beat the Raptors in the series in the playoffs. No team, including the Rockets. The Rockets would have got clamped up. The Clippers would have got annihilated. The Warriors, we saw what happened to them. No team in the West would have been able to beat the Raptors last year. And that was because
Kawhi Leonard.
And also that defense. They had an all-time defense.
Leonard,
and they still have a great defense.
No, you have a great defense. You have an all-time great defense with Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi wouldn't even shut nobody down in the finals. Steph Curry still averaged 30 plus.
How was he supposed
Klay Thompson was still dropping 27 plus. Kevin Durant still came out there and gave you 13 plus before he popped his Achilles.
Steph's efficiency was so far below what
because it was only him out there. G, they was running the boxing one. G, you told me that the Lakers had to worry because they had Quinn Cook running plays. G, it was Steph Curry and Quinn Cook out there on the floor in the finals. G, in the finals. Don't talk to me. Do not talk to me about anything. Those are facts. G, I don't want to hear that. So what? So what? He still averaged 35. Kawhi wasn't guarding him.
No chance.
Kawhi wasn't guarding him.
Wasn't it 30?
No chance.
Even if it was 30, so what?
I think, but no. I think the Raptors have a shot because I think the Raptors can defensively guard anything that anybody wants to do. Outside of maybe if they get to the finals and play the Clippers, and I don't know if they can guard the Clippers. I think they can guard pretty much anything else that anybody wants to do.
The Clippers are not a great offensive team, so we're not gonna say they can't guard.
I know they're not, but
it's not a great offensive.
They're not. But the reason why I would say that is because I think PG and Kawhi Leonard can overpower the people that they could put in front of them.
They're not gonna win like that. The Clippers ain't gonna win because they gonna have too many like hiccups offensively. That you keep sticking your guards in the corner, your wings on the point guard. I'm not sure, but I'm for sure the Raptors or the Clippers won't win the championship.
So who winning?
The Raptors have no chance.
Who winning? The Lakers?
I don't know. Maybe
no. I'm asking you a question. I didn't want to hit all that. I don't know. I'm asking you a question.
The bubble made it up for grabs. I just know the teams that.
Now Lakers fans want to say the bubble made it up for grabs. Before all of this, we got this on lock. LeBron MVP.
I think, but so in that conversation is different because, I mean, a lot of people was picking the Lakers over the Blazers, and I don't because. Off seasons is what age veteran players.
Actually, let's go ahead. Let's talk about it.
Get into it.
Who will win the Lakers? Actually, let's talk about the front court matchup because I actually think this will be the key to this series. Who do you think will win the Lakers versus Blazers? Front court matchup. In the front court, we got Whiteside, we got Nurkic, we got Zach Collins versus basically AD and Dwight because I don't think JaVale is going to get a ton of minutes in this series.
And LeBron.
Yeah, but I don't think LeBron is going to get down. Yeah, but I don't think he's going to get down there and rebound. LeBron is a point guard.
No, but he's a front court player, right? To be effective, he needs to be in the position of a power forward to be effective. He needs to go to the hoop to be effective. If LeBron shooting jumpers the whole game, they for sure gonna lose. They won't even win 2 games.
It's facts.
They won't. Hold on. Whoa. If LeBron shoot jumpers, come on, man.
If LeBron shoot jumpers, they won 2 games.
If Bron go out there shoot jumpers all day, it's quiet. It's curtains. It's curtains. It's curtains. It's not good.
And the issue is off seasons age players, man. Off season. So let me kind of get the excuse ready ahead of time, which is weird that I'm making an excuse for LeBron, but you got to realize, right? You off 90 days. What is it for the off season? Like 90 days or something?
Something like that.
Right, and then you come back for a 6-week training camp or whatever that is. You come back for a month-long preseason, and then you play for 5 or 6 months before you get to the playoffs, right? Like, so when you get older, all seasons age you, like, right? Rhythm, you can work out and lift weights, but, you basketball shape, right? So this man is coming off a break, you feel me? He trained in all season. Took him a while to get his rhythm. And this season, he got it. They got to first place. They was doing their stuff together. Then you get a 4-month break where you really can't work out. A 4-month break. And then when the league come back, right, you get 2 weeks of training, right? You get 2 weeks of games, and now you're in the playoffs. I don't think he'll find that rhythm. I think he turned that corner. So it's just a challenge. I don't know how real it is, but I don't think he could dominate the game. I think he could get his stats, but I don't think he could impact the game. I think Father Time is going to show up and claim the W. I think he's in trouble.
But that's even why at the beginning of the season I said that I thought the Blazers were a bad matchup because like we just said, LeBron needs to penetrate, get to the paint to beat you. Now, do I think that LeBron could get past, whoever Portland has initially guarded him? Sure. But then when you get to the rim, now you got Nurk, now you got Zach Collins, now you got Whiteside. Those not people that you just finna finish over consistently.
And I don't think with Zach not being there, Gabriel is somebody whose name is probably gonna ring bells after this series is over because he looks like he should be with Toronto. You got a 6'8", 6'9" Sudanese player, 7'2", 7'3" wingspan, lengthy, long, can guard. LeBron not looking fast in the bubble. He's getting guarded by like random niggas from the Jazz. Random talents are guarding him right now in this bubble. So I think it's a belief that he's gonna find his rhythm and it's gonna be on. But it's like when you get older, it takes more time to find your rhythm. So he's not going to find his rhythm this round. That's just not realistic. So then it's betting on, do I think AD can impact the game? And to me, I think AD can get the stats, but I don't think he can take over the game. Like I think he could, get you the points and rebounds and everything you need and could defend, but I don't think he could take over a game. So to me, it really comes down to somebody like Kyle Kuzma, and I feel like he can have a situation. He's already in a real streaky place. They got 3 power forwards. They need all to be in the same place to be effective consistently. So if Kyle Kuzma comes out and he's this very multifaceted kind of scorer and he's able to have crazy games, it'll work out. But if it don't, I really think Portland is going to win. I think
he has to average 18 plus in order for the Lakers to win this series. I think Kuzma has to average 18 plus
at 50%, not at like 40. You know what I'm saying?
I think he can do that at 40, but only if LeBron average. But also, I think LeBron has to average at least 27 points in order for them to win a series.
I don't think LeBron averaged 27, bro.
He has to average 20.
They're not going to win.
I think AD and LeBron both have to average 27, and LeBron got to average 18. And they're not going to win a championship. And they're not going to win a championship. And they're not going to win a championship. Then they're not going to win a championship.
Hold on. To beat the Blazers or go to the championship?
To beat the Blazers, I think both of them probably have to average about 27, and Kuzma got to average about 18.
That's not that. That's not.
Gee, I think literally, Kuzma has to outplay Melo. And not only does Kuzma have to outplay Melo, but then that means LeBron got to outplay Dame and CJ, and then AD got to outplay Nurk and Whiteside and Collins. I don't know. I think
the Blazers.
Like if Bradley was out there, then at least they got another defender they could maybe throw at Dame. Even though I said Bradley might be washed. You know what I mean? But
we're clearly gonna lose the
Rondo. I mean, who gonna run the offense when LeBron goes to the bench?
Is Rondo back?
He on quarantine. He came back into the bubble. I think on Monday.
They saying he questionable, but I don't think he's gonna play. And if they play him, they'll probably be a mistake. But I mean, I think the Blazers should win the front court matchup, right? I mean, I think the Lakers should win the front court matchup, right? And I think it's just not going to be separate enough versus the backcourt match. I think the backcourt matchup is going to be absolutely horrendous. Like, what do you do with Dame and CJ with the backcourt from us?
Who guards them? Who guards them? No, like who comes out on? Is it KCP and is it Danny Green? That's the starters you use. And that's who you put on Dame and CJ.
That's just bad news.
Does Bron have to help guard Dame and CJ?
Oh, that's even worse news.
Dame gonna be waving like this to LeBron.
It's what's crazy is this whole setup is like when you read books, you know how books roll and you be reading them and shit, and they set up for a story. This doesn't seem like a story set up for the Lakers to win the championship. Like, you don't get rolling and you killing and you playing for Kobe Bryant and your veteran finally got his legs and everybody knocking shot and then you get a 4-month break. You feel me? That shit don't happen. And then when you come back out the bubble, you don't really got time to get warm. They putting everybody in. It just don't seem like this storyline is for the Lakers. It don't seem like it. It just seems like this is one of them situations where we'll be talking about it like, man, this season deserves an asterisk, and that don't sound
no, I don't want to hear that. Oh no, that's not what I want to hear from Lakers fans. If I hit a word, asterisk, somebody need to get their ass kicked because that's a lie.
You can't front and say this didn't have an effect on our team. You can't front. You can't. Let me just get this ready ahead of time. You can't front like you didn't think this affected our team.
What is this?
This COVID 4-month break, 2 off seasons in the same seasons. This little bit of time to get
your old guy got some rest. You should be happy.
Hey, look. Somebody asked a very interesting question. Somebody said, "What happens to LeBron's legacy if he goes out first round this season?"
Nothing.
Yeah. What does LeBron? What does this season rank all time for LeBron to you?
It's LeBron already the 3-time champion, a 4-time MVP in year 17. If he loses? It means nothing. Father Time has to catch up to every person.
We got people voting for him for MVP, and he can't afford to lose in the first round.
That's just silly, dog.
He can't afford to lose in the first round.
They was trying to give him a parting gift. He's not.
And yo, did you know that Giannis literally, like, I looked this up, he has the highest NBA PER in history, G.
Well, it's only it's like 18 games short of the season, so I expect.
No. I think the Bucks wound up playing 73 games, I think, or they wound up playing 70 some games. The Bucks wound up playing 70 total games. So but still, that's like it's not even all time. It's not even close. LeBron James is not a top 5 MVP candidate in real life. I appreciate the narrative.
He's top 5, but he should not win.
I appreciate the narrative. I appreciate the publicity, how the publicists did the spin, but he's not a top 5 NBA candidate. He's not even number 1 on his team in real life. In real life, he's not.
Yes, he is. Because we just said that AD has to get set up. AD consistently has to get set up.
Yeah, Rondo can set AD up.
Which is why it's an issue that he hurt.
So does Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So does Shaquille O'Neal. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, there's nothing wrong with having a playmaker.
Hold on, wait, real quick. But that's only why Shaq got 1.
What about Kareem, who got 6? Kareem couldn't dribble the ball from free throw line to the fucking
and check it out. How many MVPs does Kareem have when he didn't have elite guard play?
He had more than that. That's when he had all his MVPs, when he was getting whooped on and getting put out and having them big stat lines. So my thing is, you don't got to be a playmaker to win it. Like AD had a better season than LeBron. Clearly, it's not even close. Like, that's not dissing him. AD had a better PER, better stats, more efficient, better defense, better player. He just was a better player. That's not bad. I mean, AD had a great season. LeBron had a less than LeBron type of season, less than LeBron, because we got to judge LeBron differently on LeBron standards. So, but I'm saying we still talk about somebody. He's not top 5. He shouldn't be number 1 on his team as far as the MVP goes. I think James. I mean, again, the same reason you don't give Kevin Durant or Steph Curry the MVP is the same reason you don't give it to LeBron. It's just silly.
Yeah, I agree. I
mean, I actually thought Giannis for most of the season should have been the unanimous MVP. Actually, for most of the season, I thought it should have been unanimous.
Not unanimous, but he definitely should be the MVP.
I mean, who the fuck else needed votes?
I think Giannis should be the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Honestly, that's how good I think he's been this year.
I would hate it.
I do too.
I wouldn't hate it. I just don't know who Giannis guards. I never see Giannis actually guard nobody.
I seen him guard a lot of people.
I've never seen
guard LeBron. I seen him guard AD. I seen him challenge like that. He's a competitor, man. He's old school dude.
Which game you seen him guard LeBron? You talking about the game at Staples Center when they won?
Yeah.
When he was getting cooked by Bron?
Yeah, but again, his Bron's wins, right, is not a reflection because they played twice. And one time he wasn't getting cooked by Bron.
He was not getting cooked by Bron the first time. He went crazy. That time he went crazy. That happened. That happened. The first time did happen, yes. When Giannis hit 6 threes, it happened.
I'm thinking froze, but I'm definitely just took a screenshot of that face glasses just made. That's a new meme. You froze, glasses. Hold on. Yeah, you might have to tap out and tap back in. That's hilarious. But let's go ahead. Let's talk LeBron or Dame. Who will have a better series? What do you think?
I'm rocking with my man's Dave. Gee, I'm sorry. I'm rocking with, like I told you.
You are a LeBron trader.
I think it's Dame's time, bro.
You traded on your hero.
Nah, it's just I just think it's Dame's time. G, it's like every like when the man's performances are inspirational. It's like he's literally going out there and saying, "Yo, I'm not going." Like he's like, "Yo, if I gotta score 60, I'm gonna score 60. If I gotta score 50, I'm gonna get 50. If I gotta get 40, I'm gonna get 40. And also, if I gotta pass the ball and let CJ take over like he did down the stretch in the Memphis game, I'm willing to do that." I remember when I interviewed Dame. What was it? 2 years ago now. He was I asked him about your mindset, late game when it's time to take over the game. He was like, "Yo, taking over the game don't always mean that I gotta score. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. It just means just doing what I need to do for my team." So again, like CJ had it cooking. CJ had the advantage with Ja on him. So okay, you know what? Here you go, CJ, go cook. I just think Dame is in the absolute prime of his career. And yeah, I think Dame has a better series than Bron. I do. I'm sorry. Again, the man looked like he'd be out there just not going. I'm sorry. I love Bron, but
but what are your basketball reasons as to why?
Who guarding Dame? Look at the team. Who guarding the man? I had the Blazers have a better chance of putting up resistance towards Bron because again, I don't think Bron is gonna get hot from 3. Like if Bron gonna get hot from 3 or hot from the perimeter, well, okay, hide the kids, hide the wife, we going home. But that's usually don't happen too much. I can name times on one hand, damn near, which Bron just got hot from the perimeter and won a game. So again, you dealing with Whiteside, Nurk, Zach Collins, Gabriel. You have people who can offer resistance for LeBron at the rim. I don't know who offers any resistance for Dame anywhere on the court. Dame don't have to go in the paint to beat you ever.
Okay.
And also Dame for some Dame, I don't know what he did over this break, but Dame honestly now is one of the best in the league at getting to the free throw line. That's why he's scoring so many points, because in these games he's taking 10, 12, 13 free throws. He probably gets those little he'll stop on the screen and try to pull up for 3, and he'll probably get those foul calls twice a game. That's 6 free throws right there. So when I look at it, I just don't know who on the Lakers guards Dame, and I can see, if Ron jumper is working, then never mind. But jumper got to be working 7 times. He got to go to the paint a lot. If he had to paint, Whiteside, honestly, if the Blazers were good, would have been the defensive player of the year conversation if the Blazers were good.
I mean, you know what's funny more than anything, man? It's people keep talking about how bad Portland defense is. But speed is what exploits their defense. Speed, shifty guys, fast guys, not size. Our team is built in size. Feel me? Speed beats them. Not, you know what I mean? Speed is going to exploit their defense. I mean, you at a place right now where Carmelo could probably stand in front of LeBron, Bubble Bron. That might be a real conversation. I know it sounds crazy, but I watch
Bubble Bron.
Because it's not fair.
I'm gonna put this man Bron face on Bubble Boy. Bubble Bron.
This ain't the real LeBron. This is Bubble Bron. This is Bubble Bron.
Nah, I'm with you. I actually think Melo will outplay LeBron for a game or two in his role.
That's a problem.
In his role, I think he will.
I mean, what if you? That's what I'm saying.
No, in his role. Come on, man.
In his
listen. All he need to do is go for 22 and get 9 rebounds at 50%. That's a challenge for Bubble Bron, not the previous Bron, but Bubble Bron. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
Oh
Pavy,
my God!
You turned completely heel against.
No,
LeBron.
I haven't. I just have eyes.
I'm embarrassed.
No,
for LeBron fans everywhere. You are supposed to ride and die with your favorites. You have not rolled and died with LeBron.
I love Bron, bro. Bron has done more for my life. Bron has done more for my life than any sports athlete ever. I just have eyes, bro. I have eyes. And I'm looking at the main Dame play. I've said this all year. You do not want to play the Blazers.
Especially when they had Trevor Ariza.
Yeah. The night Kobe died. Well, the first game back at Staples, and Dame had no emotion on his face.
I was like,
oh yeah, I forgot they won that game. Oh yeah,
no emotion on his face.
That game.
And Trevor was there, and it wasn't quite Bubble Bron. It was like Bron was moving, he was chugging, but Trevor could challenge him. Right now, man, that Gabriel kid is probably gonna make a name for himself in this rank.
I am crying, G. You gotta stop, G.
G, they put Darius Bazey on the man and no consequences happened. I've seen random people going on and nothing happened. That's not okay, G.
That's not
they had PJ Dozier from the Nuggets guarding him, and there were no consequences.
It was Bubble Bron is a little different, man. Bubble Bron could give you 27, 28, but I don't know if it's impactful. I think they lost a game and he had 28. I think when Bron is on, prime Bron, rhythm Bron is a little different. Bubble Bron is different, man. And if you can challenge him consistently, again, like I said, I think the Blazers win. I think the Lakers win the front court matchup, right? But I don't think it's going to be, it's a challenge. The backcourt is no challenge. Who's going to guard CJ McCollum? That's the problem. When you start, not just Dame, because Dame's going to go crazy. Who's going to guard CJ? CJ kind of start figuring things out. And he's going from, the defender that he's going to run into now is less athletic than the one he's played in the last 2 games. So, how do you guard CJ McCollum? How do you guard Dame at this point? What do you do? Bron 5 years ago could guard Dame. He'd challenge him all night when he needed to.
Yeah.
If Bubble Bron hops on Dame,
it's up to KCP.
Come on, dude, and that's fucked up. We can't hinge the late show hopes on KCP. It's just not right.
Why? That's what Lakers fans been telling me all year.
Not when you got Bubble Bron. Bubble Bron is $40 million. We need.
That's what they've been telling me all year. That's what I've been hearing all year long.
No, stop doing this, bro.
Now, all of a sudden, I'm hearing a different.
Stop doing this. Stop doing this, bro. They have two rotation players missing.
They have two
rotation players missing, bro. They have two rotation players missing.
It don't matter. That's why I told you all of this.
Take two rotation players off any team.
All of this.
Completely different.
Avery Bradley was there. Hold up. Bubble Danny Green is different. Green is different.
I just designed this.
Bubble
Green is different. Bubble Green is different. How many
y'all want to see this episode's cover? Look.
He's gonna ban your ass. Bubble Brown.
He need to ban you. You the one who said it.
You the one called that man. You didn't notice that he was playing a little weird. Like you didn't see how flat he looked in the bubble.
Who? LeBron?
Yeah, you did. Look, think about it.
Y'all he been watched for years, and everybody been calling me crazy.
Bubble Brown is way different.
I've been telling y'all LeBron been watched for years, and y'all called me a hater.
Because during the season, he didn't know. No. During the season, he didn't look like this. It was only like certain teams, like the Raptors, the Clippers, teams like that. Gee, when I saw that Thunder game, and Darius Baisley was offering resistance.
What's crazy is he hadn't played in 4 months, right? They was off for 4 months, right? And they had like a couple. They worked out training camp for 2 weeks, and they had like 4 or 5 games, and he needed a break. I was like, oh shit. Like people thought, like when they beat the Clippers and he was laid out on the ground, like, man, I'm tired. I think people thought that was a joke. And like, no, y'all niggas ain't shit.
Y'all thought that was a joke.
No, because you don't remember you didn't see that.
Yeah. So he was like, oh my god, I ain't never. He was like, man, I'm tired.
I'm like, oh, Brian got the jokes, boy. And then, like, I noticed 4 or 5 games in, he needed. They was like, we need to rest Brian. I'm like, man, he played 5 games in 5 months. Why the fuck is we resting? What the fuck is going on? And then he came back and responded the next game with a 26-point game. And I was like, oh my God. Think about it. This whole thing don't favor older players. You playing every other night.
Every other day.
You don't really have your rhythm. All seasons age players. What favors the Lakers? We lost Avery Bradley and Rondo. What favors the Lakers? Like, what about this whole thing favors us? I think about it. LeBron James, he said it's a problem. He like, yeah, man, it's off the problem. Like, this dude been able to play in front of a crowd his whole life, right? He uses that.
Yeah, energy. I think that really, really, really affects Bron not having
Bron is a family man. Your family out the bubble. Your family can't get in the bubble. Feel me? All these things that matter to a wholesome man like Bron.
The first round, big fella.
And by the way,
it's the bubble Lakers. This ain't the same Lakers. So let's just.
And by the way, all this being said, I still think the Lakers will win in 6. Reason being because I just wonder if the Blazers are just inconsistent. And sometimes they just have like lows. They play here, you take it basketball, and maybe down the stretch you get in the close game. I think the Lakers could maybe pull it out, but I'm not really that sure about that. That's actually my out of respect pick.
Yeah, I'm actually as a Laker fan. The
internet been slandering me nonstop for the past week for picking against the Lakers.
Yeah, it don't look good for us.
I bet it against the Lakers. I bet it my homie like $50 on the Blazers.
Yeah, it's almost like crazy. Like, how many times have we seen LeBron James defeat Father Time? We seen him do it in 2016. He beat Father Time.
We've seen nobody defeat Father Time. I don't think we've seen LeBron James face Father Time.
We have. You just kind of never paid attention that it's been happening to him because he's been beating it. But when you get to the finals, right, and certain things start happening, we look at the stat line as a reflection. But LeBron is the kind of player where he's always going to get those kind of stats as long as you play him. Like if you play Carmelo 40 minutes, 35 minutes, Carmelo probably going to have 25 points, 24 points. You know what I'm saying? Like if you give him the touches. So I think LeBron will always have the touches, but he's pounding the ball more. Like it's taking more. They don't look good in transition. All our strengths. We lost Avery Bradley. We lost Rondo. You know what I mean? Like it just everything about it says like first round. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the next year we came back and after we won a championship, right? In 2011, we played against Dallas. And I remember looking like, I'm like, man, Kobe balling, his numbers look good, but like, man,
Kobe
lost
look
some,
right, G.
We lost some weird games. And I remember my boy telling me, like, Dallas finna whoop y'all ass. I'm like, man, you sound crazy, man. Fucking Dirk not finna do nothing else. Them niggas don't play no deep. That's what I kept saying. And I knew they had Tyson Chandler. Like, I knew they could challenge. But I'm like, man, we just won the championship. These clowns ain't finna beat us. Like, we back-to-back champions. And they beat the shit out of us.
Gee, I will never forget watching that, looking at like, nah, bro. I will never forget watching that, like, yo, Kobe looked bad, G. Like, Kobe looked bad. Then he went and got that surgery from Germany and looked revitalized. But in that series, Kobe looked bad.
And I think it's time, years and years and years and years. And I think all seasons are seasons. And LeBron got through a real curveball with this 2 off seasons. That shit mattered. You lose rhythm. It's harder when you older to get your rhythm back faster. Dame and them got their rhythm back in the second fucking day. When you in your prime, you know what I mean? Kyle Kuzma, like that time off work for him, he just going crazy. But Danny Green and LeBron are both struggling. Nobody else is campaigning.
It won't work out for him. Y'all in trouble. There's a shark in the water, and his name is Damian Lillard, and it's time. But let's go ahead. Let's move on. Last topic. Let's get this in real quick. Who wins Thunder versus Rockets? Game one at least. No Russ.
I think Russ might be playing. Like, he tweeted something that said, like, it seemed like he might be playing. He tweeted like, yo, Thunder Rockets lock in, something like that. Like, he might be playing. Also, he walked past Braun and he said, yo, how your quad feeling? He said, good. So I think Russ is a possibility he might play.
Without Russ, the Rockets going to beat the Thunder.
I don't think he.
I don't even know why are we doing this with Chris Paul again.
Yeah. That just mean he was going on social media hiatus. That don't mean he was going to play.
I just don't understand why we doing this whole
because it's not just shit. Because it's like not just Chris. It's like not just about Chris Paul. I just think that, you know, with Roberson being back, they have Dort, they have Shea, they have the bodies to be able to at least like trap hard and offer his
name to come out your mouth.
Because like last time, granted, obviously kids coming off catastrophic injury, but last time we saw Roberson play, he was in the defense player of the year.
That's a long ways away.
3 years ago.
I'm just saying, like
2 injuries ago.
I'm just saying, like, I think that they can double Harden, and I think that they can, you know, put the ball in other people's hands and make them have to make decisions. And then I'm kind of worried.
Listen, I don't give a fuck what the hell you talking about. The Thunder is not going to beat James Harden right now. James Harden is a real MVP candidate, a real MVP, a real different kind of force. They're not going to beat James Harden. I don't give a fuck if the boy don't play one game. They're not going to beat James Harden. I'm not a fan of his game. I love his strength. I see the things he do well, but dog, they're not going to beat James Harden. I'm not saying I don't know how the game, I don't know how the series is going to play out, but dog, Houston is like, they're going to win, dog. It's going to be tough for the Thunder. Like, they're a good team, but man, like, what do you do with James Harden? What do you do with the setup? Like, if you double team, they all can pass. You got Gordon, you got all these people who can play the game. They all can shoot. They literally all can shoot. They all can finish at the rim. They can defend. They're not horrible. It ain't like the Thunder play big, you know, where they're going to post a nigga up and exploit their little man. So if you got James Harden at the top of the key, so if you double team, he going to pass out of it. He can pass out of it, and they can make decent decisions. And how long are you going to do that? How tight is that going to make your team? Like, who's going to double team? Like, you know what I mean? I would bet on.
They're going to defend, though. That's my whole thing about it as well, because I think the Thunder can potentially keep up with them.
No, I think so. I mean, keep up with them as far as keep up with James Harden or keep up with the rest of them.
Keep up with them, period. I think they can keep up with them, especially if Russ isn't out there. Harden is probably as good as Chris Paul is currently, probably as good as Shea is currently, and probably as good as Gallinari altogether currently. Like, he's probably as good as they are currently by himself. And I think Shea is going to be a fantastic defender, and I think Chris Paul was a fantastic player in his time, and I think Gallinari is dope. But James Harden, man, is a special talent. That offense is set up to him. You feel me? You got Covington over there that's going to defend. You know what I'm saying? It really come down to, you going to double James Harden every game this series? That's what you going to do?
I think they are.
Double them and take them. Yeah, you double and take the ball out of them.
Double them. I think you live with.
As Shaq said, you have to make the others beat you.
I think you double them and you like live with what happens with the like if Austin Rivers and Eric Gordon and Tuck gonna get hot, and which could happen. It could definitely get Macklemore.
You don't have to get hot. You just gotta knock down open shots. You don't have to get hot. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just knock down open shot, you good. If you double team, I just don't know if that's gonna work at this level. Like I don't believe in that. I don't believe you're gonna double team your way into beating James Harden. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be rough. Like you actually gonna have to defend him eventually. Like, right? You're gonna have to actually be able to defend him.
I think you'd let him go crazy, honestly. If he wants to score 100 points, score 100 points. If
he go crazy, you're gonna lose for sure. James Harden is an impact player. If you don't stop him, you lose the game.
I disagree with that. I've seen him come up small numerous times. I watched Steph Curry have 0 points and James Harden come up small in the fourth quarter.
Because they stopped him, bro. Because they stopped him. They had the defenders. They had the defenders to be able to guard him. To Klay Thompson, who says he
man. They didn't even need to double team. Like they could man him. Not to mention in the playoffs, he was usually tired from D'Antoni's offense.
But this is my question: why don't you just play man to man with him all game long? I don't understand why people try to go.
Because he'll cook you for 50.
Because he will destroy you. Not for 50. He'll put up 60, 20, and 20. Like 20 assists.
No. That's what you do. You keep him from getting 20 assists. You let him score 60.
Then he'll go for 80 points.
No, he won't. He won't. He's going to do what he always does, and then he's going to run out of gas mid-series, which is what he always does.
That's because he played.
Let that man punch himself out. Let him punch himself out.
You notice he never ran out of gas during the regular season. Like he never, but by the end of the season to the playoffs.
Last year versus the Warriors, or he always somehow run out of gas.
He's 4 months off, dog. He's fresh. He's a fresh MVP player in the prime of his career with a 4-month break. He's only MVP. Like currently, he's probably gonna be a top 3 vote this year. Right?
No, he is. He is. The finalists were literally Giannis, LeBron, and Harden.
It's gonna be Harden.
I
didn't know. I forget that they announced the awards.
And I even know that, but the crazy part is that's his game.
But whatever.
But that's his game. But the thing is,
like, to be honest, he
didn't play enough games. But the thing is, it's like like he's had to do this the D'Antoni offense the whole season, so he run out of gas. Right now, dog, he's fresh. That nigga is fresh. Like people keep asking me who I think is gonna win. He can do it.
All right.
And with no fans in a pickup game style, he might drop 80 on you.
He might go 80.
He might actually go for 80.
He's not.
He might actually go for 80.
If they don't double team him,
Chris Paul not gonna let him drop 80.
Chris Paul can't do nothing about that.
All you need to do is put Chris Paul on him at the end of the game. You'll be all right.
Chris Paul that's not gonna work out for you.
That's why you need Russ back, because Russ is the 2 to the 1-2.
No, he was already a second round team without Russ.
Who? The Rockets?
James Harden.
No. I think they're conference finals team because they're gonna beat.
No, that's with Chris Paul.
They were a second round team.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm saying James Harden is like really tough. Like I'm not into the game style, but dog, if you don't stop him, he gonna beat you. Like you can't just let him go crazy.
I would love to see a coach just play him straight up for a whole game and see what happens if you literally tell him, "Hey, look, don't leave the others. Period. Stay on them. Don't let Ben McLemore get a shot. Don't let Eric Gordon
get the rim every time.
He's gonna foul out.
Do that. He got to come off the floor eventually, and then guess what's gonna happen at the end of the game? Sag off of him and let all them guys that's been out of rhythm take them shots that they gonna want to take, and then we gonna double him, and then they gonna clank him, and then he gonna look like a goofy.
Who gonna clank him? Oh, you talking about the other guys gonna miss shots?
Yeah. If you just let Harden hold the ball all game long, that takes off their rhythm. And then what he gonna do? Try to distribute the ball at the end of the game? All of a sudden, with all these guys out of rhythm, play them straight up and let that man go crazy if he gonna go crazy. Because if you switching everything, all they gonna do is he gonna just exploit the switch. He gonna put the big man in the switch every time, and then Steven Adams gonna be out there dancing. What you need that man to be dancing for? Just let that man stand down there and grab rebounds.
He's not gonna be under the grab rebounds.
He's not even in the corner. He's not even gonna be on the. He's not even gonna be on the.
Stand in the corner and shade.
He He's not even gonna be on the floor.
He's gonna be on the floor. I keep him on the floor. I keep him on the floor and make him guard PJ Tucker. Wherever PJ go, you go.
Who's gonna be Martin?
It's not because I'm gonna play him straight up. Like I'm not gonna I'm gonna play him straight up. Unless specifically they run a pick and roll, and then I'm gonna trap him in the pick and roll. But then I'm playing him straight up. If he want to sit out there and ISO and fucking dance all game long and do all of this for 20 or 24 seconds, dude, be my guest.
You know they're gonna run pick and rolls. They're gonna force you to engage.
Then we won't engage. I'm dropping back. I'm going to drop back in coverage. We're going to drop back in coverage. Go under the screen. If we're going to lose with Harden making 89 million threes and scoring 80 points, then so be it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's going to be out there looking like Luka looked today. It's not going to happen.
He'll never look like Luka.
It's not going to happen.
Luka never looked like James Harden.
It's not going to happen. Let James Harden do what James Harden do. That's honestly what they was doing with Luka today. That's why he had 42. He had 11 turnovers because he had the ball in his hand so much. He was just throwing the shit around the court. Because they were getting
ripped up.
Huh? And he was throwing the ball around the court.
He was getting forced into bad turnovers. He's just too young. He's gonna have his game. He gotta slow down. He won't have 40 points again this series.
All right. When he do, I want you to come back and I want you to apologize to my son.
I'm gonna come back with the broom. I'm gonna get a broom sent over there for y'all, and you can sweep your floor with it. I'm gonna throw little Dallas stickers on the floor. You can just sweep it up. Are you tripping? Like, what are you really talking about? That white boy ain't gonna do nothing to the niggas, man. Not right now. That white boy got about 3-4 years. Then we might be talking about Larry Bird. Right now, he's a young guy, man. That little young white boy can't do nothing with them boys right now. Them boys killers in their prime.
Somebody said, am I running with CP3? No, I think the Rockets are going to win this series if Russ isn't out for a long time. But I do think that the Thunder going to win this first game. And I think that CP3 and the Rockets, I think that the Thunder have a good chance. I just think it literally comes down to how good James Harden is versus everybody else. And if I'm them, let him do what he going to do. Who my best defender? If I'm the Thunder, who my best defender?
Shay?
Dort, probably.
You know what I'm putting on that man? Hey, old fella, dust off them knees.
You put that nigga injured again. You got that nigga injured again. And we're gonna go to the hospital.
That hamstring gonna be flaming by game 3. Hamstring gonna be flaming.
Andre Robertson. Hey, big fella. We gonna start. We gonna start Dort. But if Dort start getting cooked, we bring you off the bench, big fella. Go straight up with him.
If I'm them, I bet on Shea. Shea is the person I bet on. Shea got the length. Shea got the size. Shea young. I'm betting on Shea.
Yeah,
but that's who I'm betting on. That's why you can't beat him. That's who I'm betting on. Like, dog, you can't put Chris Paul out there.
If Russ comes back in the game, everything I just said don't matter. They're gonna run crazy over them. But if Russ don't come back,
I actually like their chances better with Russ on the court because it kind of creates no consistency of the same thing. With Harden, you know what you're going to get, and it's really hard to stop. With Russ and Harden, they spend so much time taking turns that they never in rhythm together. So it's always funny. But with just Harden and them, the Thunder is not good enough to beat that team. They're just not. Like, I don't think so. I mean, you just never know. Shea, I mean, they got a shot, but if you're not betting on Shea to defend, like, you can't put no other guy on James Harden. Like, you need big time players like Klay Thompson. And I agree with you. Like, the reason the Warriors always could get them is because they could always guard individually when they needed to. Like, we could throw Iggy, we could use Klay. You know what I mean? We can guard individually. And KD, even when they got KD, like, they can guard individually when they needed to. The problem is, like, who's gonna guard James Harden individually when he start running that pick and roll and that whole thing collapse so he don't get an open layup? That's when it happens. He gonna run the same shit. This is what they do. They gonna run your ass up. He not tired. He ain't played for 6 months and overran D'Antoni's offense. Right? He's fresh as a fucking bird. Like, dog, he gonna run. Like, they're laughing. Like, I'm listening to people saying the Thunder gonna meet the Rockets. I'm like, how? The Rockets is better coach for that type of, they got the MVP. They got a setup that they comfortable with. You know what I mean? They got great shooters. You can't let them be open. I don't understand how.
Yeah, we're gonna see. But all right, Glasses. Thanks for tuning in.
My
fans,
God, thanks for having me.
My guys.
Thanks for watching. We're gonna get up with y'all next time. As always, it's your boy TPJ. Find me on Twitter, Instagram at Real TPJ. That's RELTPJ. I'm going to sleep. I literally worked from the moment I woke up to the basic time I went to sleep. So
I'm about to finish up songs. So.
All right, cool. And Daniel Belts will most likely be live tomorrow game for the Lakers. So I will get up with you all next time, man. Until then, it's been Hoops and Brews. We appreciate you guys. You guys have a good night. Make sure you go patreon.com, subscribe to get the podcast audio before everybody else. Until then, peace.
Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going.